I'm Jon Marshall, and we're Suncoast NPI ITV, and we're coming at you now. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jon Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI, and we're coming at you live with Suncoast NPI TV. What day is it? It's Friday, May 10th. So everybody, it's Mother's Day weekend. Get out there. If you haven't got your present, consider this already value time spent watching this show. Get out there and get a present for your mom, your loved one. Just get it done. Hey, Mom, I know you're watching. Look at this shirt I got. Love ya. Hope you like the sherry berries you got there yesterday. Hopefully they made it in all right. So, I haven't been on for a little while. I've been out of town. I've been in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, so I'm jazzed up to be here today. But as you're leaning in, I kind of wanted just to kind of try to slow it down, probably for myself, but everybody else out there. As you know, Suncoast NPI, it's a people business, so I kind of wanted to slow it down. I've been hearing a lot of stories this week, so I just want to open up with this quote. An anxious heart weighs a person down, but a kind word cheers them up. That's from my favorite book called The Bible. It's in Proverbs. That's 12:25. So if nothing else, if you lean in and you hear that, if you have an anxious heart today, I can tell you firsthand, I've had at least 7 stories this week, and this is my first full week back in, and hearing something that's going on, whether it's health reasons, whether it's career stuff going on, whether it's kids that are in college that are having difficulties. If you have an anxious heart, it's weighing you down. Remember, there's somebody else, and there's Jesus Christ that's going to lift you up. That's where you should lean to. But if you're a friend out there, remember, a kind word cheers somebody else. So if nothing else, I just ask you to think that through today, and just think through. You don't know what's going on in people's lives, and I'm not immune to any of this as well. So just think through. Again, an anxious heart weighs a person down, but a kind word cheers them up. And with that said, as the owner of Suncoast NPI, maybe you guys don't even know what Suncoast NPI. Suncoast NPI is, we're a locally owned, that's me. We're 29 years young this month, May. 29 years young, world-class, seat-specific referral networking organization with a community look and feel. That's a lot of words. So maybe you're leaning in on like, this guy's talking a little fast, he's a little crazy, he's a little high-energy guy. So what does that mean? If I can boil it down for you simply as this. We are a referral group. We're not a leads group. I give you an example. One of my chapters, we have multiple chapters that meet every week. One of my chapters to date so far, they passed 46 referrals. Of those 46 referrals that have passed, 45 of them have been closed. Try figuring out that sales ratio. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I'm an FSU guy. That's pretty daggum close to 100%. I'll just round it up, call it a 100%er. And you can't find that anywhere. And then we're seat specific. So you come in, and I'll have J.J. Stevens coming up here in a minute. Jackie Skelton's up next with JR World Travel. She comes in and she owns the travel category. So she locks out all her competition, and she's surrounded in a room that meets weekly with like-minded business individuals that have an abundance mindset, that are truly there to help her grow her business. And we do that to a tune last year of 2018, over $1.8 million we closed last year in business. And we're not talking about, those hyper inflated numbers that you see elsewhere, like you sold a $500,000 house and that's a $500,000 close. No, we're talking about money that's in your pocket that you can go distribute with your family and go spend it out in the economy and to make it a better place to work and feel. So that actually, going back to community focus, that's probably the number one reason. I was just sharing this offset with Charles DiMarco. He's the president of New Life Solutions, who is going to be on to close us out today. And I'm mind blown. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. But community focus, to give you an idea, we encourage our members. We don't mandate it, but we encourage our members to give back 5 hours of community service per member per month. And so that is equivalized in the last 2 years to pushing 15,000 hours of community service. And this month, the focus in all of Suncoast NPI is, how may we serve you? And that is the why that Mr. DiMarco is going to be on a little bit later on, talking about New Life Solutions, and specifically an event that's going on tomorrow with Walk for Life, and we'll get into that. And actually, I'll be part of that. So if anybody even wants to come join us at Countryside Christian Center tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, come join us. It's going to be great, and it's an incredible cause. But I think that you guys have heard this before, but I'll just do it real quick. So I'm all about a triangle. The triangle for me in my life is number one at that top of that triangle is my Lord Jesus Christ. Underneath that is Amanda Marshall, and Amanda Marshall is by my side all the time. We have 21 years of marriage this coming June, and I'm pretty confident we're going to make 21. So I love you, Amanda. You're awesome. And underneath that is my son Daniel and my daughter Haley, and everything else it falls in, relationships, businesses. But I know with my personality, that triangle can go like that in a heartbeat. So if I don't have my accountability people, making sure that I'm plugged into the Word, plugged in, just doing the right things, having the right thoughts, then I get out of whack quickly. And so we're here at Suncoast NPI ITV, and you as the viewer looking in here, like, wow, you're on TV and you're bringing your members on TV? Yeah, we do. And we're the only networking organization that does it. That is just one reason why you should run to our chapters and go check it out and be a guest. And we like to say hashtag free meal. If you go to any of the 7 chapters we currently have in the Tampa Bay area and you show up and say hashtag free meal, that breakfast or lunch is on the chapter. In worst case scenario, you'll meet 20 plus business professionals that are there to actively look to help you to grow your business, and you'll meet them and walk out with a full belly. Best case scenario, you'll make your best business decision that you probably ever made in your life, because where else can you go get X number, 20 plus number of an additional sales force that's actively out there looking for you to grow your business. Let's take a little quick look at the hype video, Mr. John Gaston, and let people see what we've done this year. Hi, I'm Jon Marshall, owner of Suncoast NPI. What we are not is your granddaddy's organization, but what we are is a locally owned, seat-specific, 29-year young, world-class networking organization with a community look and feel. So it's seat-specific. So what we are looking for are individuals that are rock stars in their professions, that have a servant's heart, and that are committed to the commitment to make each chapter thrive. So if that's you, we invite you to come check out one of our many chapters throughout the Tampa Bay area. Jon Marshall, Suncoast NPI. When we pull together, we all win. So that gives you a quick flavor, a quick snapshot of Suncoast NPI. And thank you to Mr. Jason Robinson with Kennard Pictures for making us look really good with that video. And so really with, again, seat specific, right? You're good at what you do. I like to say a rock star in the category, servant's heart, committed to the commitment. We encourage you to come check this out. Let me throw out another quote. And this is kind of like one of the things I love being around all the Suncoast NPI members, because I think they really are winners and they really dream big. So listen to this, everybody. Winners dream big. Even if our dreams do not come true, they still sustain us and catapult us to where God wants us to be. I believe God places dreams inside of us that are meant to become the language of our life and the lyrics within our hearts. Even creation is hoping we discover those dreams and actually live them out. I wish I could take that as my own quote. Actually, that came out of our pastor over at Harborside, so thank you for that, Mr. Parker. But it's an incredible quote. We like to dream big. We have an abundance mindset, and so why else should you lean in? There's a lot of reasons why you should lean in. You heard about we're there to make money, right? But I can give you another example. I was at our Clearwater Largo chapter yesterday at Bel Air Coffee Company. And in that chapter, we just so happen to have 3 members in there that have been members of Suncoast NPI for over 20 years. You heard that, 20 years. They've been there every single week for 20 years. These 3 individuals, Teresa Williams, a PI attorney, Debbie Jones with Regions Bank, and Dr. Bender with Bender Chiropractic have been there for 20 years. That's absolutely mind-blowing to me. We've been around 29. Actually, Dr. Bender's in her 25th year there. Why? Why do they do that? They make money. They're very high up in their profession, But they even Debbie Jones, hopefully she's not going to get mad at me with this, but she even made a comment, I serve on the board with RCS. I'm on the board with Clearwater Chamber, and I'm so busy. I'm VP with Regions Bank, but I turn back. These are my friends. I have great relationships, but then I get another referral. I get another referral. I get another referral. It continues to grow up my business. So with that said, I just appreciate that testimony that I heard yesterday live with those 3 outstanding members. And the other thing is, we're doing TV. Like I said, nobody else is doing TV. I was talking offset. Why are we doing TV? I can tell you the number one reason why we're bringing TV to the marketplace is because our members are rock stars at what they do, and they have servant's heart, and they're committed to the commitment to make these thrive. So I'm bringing this TV opportunity to them to get outside of their 4 walls in the chapter so they can come here on this set. Again, did I mention already, nobody else does it? Yeah, nobody else does it. And so they can scream from the mountaintops and get their brand, their exposure out even more so. Not only here on this live stream, but then turn around and drip it on social media. As Mr. Gaston says, the owner of WeBeam TV, if you're not doing video, you're dead. I don't 100% agree with Mr. Gaston on that, but I do 100% agree if you're not doing video, you are going to get lost in the shuffle, and you need to be out there. That's why we do that. That's why I do that as the owner for my members, because I want to continue to bring immense value. So I encourage you to come see us. If you don't have a chapter open for your seat, call me. We're ready to open up our next chapter, and I could open up 15 of these next week, but I'm not interested in doing that. I'm not interested in money grab like some other organizations. We're doing it the right way by doing it one quality person at a time. I'm Jon Marshall. We're Suncoast NPI ITV, and coming up next is Jackie Skelton with JR World Travel, followed by Mr. J.J. Stevens with Strategic Insurance Service. Then we're going to close out today with Mr. Charles DiMarco with New Life Solutions. And what we like to say is, the bottom line is, when we pull together, we all win, and I believe that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it.
NPI.
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 NPI, Network Professionals International.
Suncoast NPI. Hi, I'm Ben Kogenauer with Mangrove Realty. I've been in real estate for over 10 years and with my company Mangrove Realty for over 8 years. Joined NPI about 3 years ago, and it's been a terrific resource for me to help me grow my business and to grow myself as a business owner.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Dittman with Brightway Insurance, the Dittman Agency, and I do property and casualty insurance. I started with NPI in 1995.
Hello, I'm Paul Friedlander. I am the account executive with Total Title Solutions. I've been involved with NPI now for just a little over a year.
My name is Sarah Shupp, and I am a banker at Synovus in Oldsmar, Florida. I have been a member of NPI for 2 years now, and I am about to start my 3rd year with them.
Hi, I'm Robert Pellini with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I'm a residential realtor, and I've been with NPI, Network Professionals International, for 2 years.
Suncoast NPI motivates me every week to grow my business and impact my community. I become better as a business owner every week, every meeting. I learn something new every meeting. I get something out of every meeting.
One of the biggest things that stands out to me is the family aspect of it. I'm not just going to breakfast with people that I don't know. I'm going to breakfast with people that I know, like, and trust. And I know that when I refer one of my customers of influence, that they are going to be in good hands. And it's not going to be a write-off, no call back, no show kind of thing.
Honestly, the relationships are great, but they're second to the results that you get. In fact, just this year alone, I've gone from number 8 in the office to number 1.
NPI is unique in the sense that the first time I walked into the chapter that I belong to, there were about 20 to 25 people in that chapter. Normally a small chapter, but I knew the people in there. I knew the power of the synergy that was in that room. And what that has related to over the last year is related to over $34,000 in thank you for closed business back to me.
Or every week that I meet with the friends and family that I've gotten to know, and we pass referrals. This year alone, I've closed over $40,000 in referrals from my NPI chapter.
Hi, my name is Jon Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI. We're a locally owned, seat-specific, world-class, 28-year young referral networking organization with a community look and feel. As the owner, I'm not so much interested in the membership check. I'm interested in the member. We're here to make money as members, but more importantly, we're here to give back to the community to make it a better place to live, work, and play.
My dad is the owner of Suncoast NPI, and as he always says, when we pull together, we all win!
Welcome back, everybody. Again, Jon Marshall, Suncoast NPI, and we're Suncoast NPI ITV. And like I said earlier, you know, our members are really, truly rock stars at what they do. They are truly, they have a servant's heart, and they're truly committed to make the chapters thrive. And you are check mark, check mark, check mark, Ms. Skelton. And I'm so delighted to have you on today.
Well done, Mike.
You're awesome. This is all about you. This is your time. I want you to shine. I know you. I know your heart.
Yes.
You're amazing. You just got back from an incredible vacation. But the people out here, they don't. So let's start off as just as simple as like, how about just, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what makes you tick? I think, are you from Arkansas or Mississippi?
Oh, south somewhere. People say, are you from the south? I'm further south than you think I am. Oh, heavens above. You know, I'm 70 years of age this year. I've got too long a story, John.
You're
but anyway,
awesome.
look, you know, born and raised in New Zealand. It is God's country. I spent over 30 years in Australia.
Okay.
I spent 2 years in Papua New Guinea, in a third world country. Everybody needs to go there. Send your kids there. They will learn something.
Yeah.
And then I've been here since 2011.
Okay.
I hold 3 passports. New Zealand, Australia, and USA.
Wow.
So I am a citizen, yes,
Yes.
absolutely. And yeah, it's just, you know, life is good. My husband was, you know, that owns half the business, of course.
Right.
Was born in Australia.
Okay.
You know, he's at the tail end of the war. There was a lot of those little sods running around
Right.
at the tail end of the war. You know, with an American father and an Aussie or
Right.
Kiwi mother. But he was educated over here.
Gotcha.
And things like that. So it's a good mix.
Yeah,
It's a good
that's
mix.
great. No, I appreciate you sharing that. And so why don't we just jump into your, and you brought some goodies today, and I really appreciate.
These are for you,
We
but this is
have,
what we give
for
to our
me,
clients.
I have a JR World Travel private label bottle of wine.
That's right.
And a chocolate
Luggage tag.
Luggage tag. Thank you so much.
You're
that was so
welcome.
kind
These are
of
things
you.
that we give out to our
Yeah, don't tell my wife.
local
Maybe
clients.
I'll give it to her as a Mother's Day gift. Shh.
You
Let's
better take
keep
my
between
name off
us.
it.
No, I'm just kidding. So, hey, tell me a little bit more. Tell us a little bit more about JR World Travel.
Okay, so JR World Travel was, Ross and I came up with the concept when we came back to this country, because he'd spent 6 years back in Australia with me, and, you know, life happens.
Right.
Life happens. You know, at our age, why are we working? Life happens. And so the travel business came up. It's something he always wanted to do.
Okay.
We've both done a lot of travel. Not being paid for it, but we've done a lot of travel ourselves. We've been to all the pitfalls. So we set about trying to see how we're going to go about this.
Right.
So you've got the bigger companies out there, and I went out and saw all these people, and I went, I'm not going to do the travel business. Don't like the way they do business. The service is not there.
Right.
You know, and at our age, John, I mean, I always say I'm the yellow finger, you know, your fingers in the old-fashioned yellow pages.
Yes, yes.
But you have to today. I mean, people want to see you. They don't want to pick up a phone and get 10 different people.
Right.
So we set about doing that. So we are independent, but we work with a company that hold our license.
Okay.
And what I like about that is the fact that I'm not limited as to what I can do.
Right.
If somebody
That's
comes
awesome.
to me and says, I want to ride a donkey somewhere down the Grand Canyon, and there's no travel, you know, parameters for that, I can set that up and do it.
That's incredible.
So I can do what I want to do.
Yeah, that's very
And that's
cool.
what I love, yeah.
Have you ever done that before?
No, I don't want to.
I don't want to. So I think you kind of shared a little bit. That's fabulous. I appreciate you sharing that. So I think we already got a little bit of differentiation. Do you want to go? You want to dive into that a little bit more, like difference you and the other? I mean, there are
sure.
There are other agents that are out there. You're not the only
There is.
one.
No. We're a consultant versus an agent.
Okay.
Okay, so there is a difference. People say, oh, you're a travel agent. I'm a consultant. And we don't charge for our, you know, we don't have services.
Okay.
But often agents are booking agents. You know, you make a phone call, you'll get 10 different people. They are only interested in what you want to do.
Right.
So you call me, Jackie, I want to go on a cruise, I want to go to the Bahamas. And you've called a cruise line direct because you think that's the best thing to do.
Right.
They're not going to say, well, hey, you know, John, that's cool, but hey, over here, there's a much better deal over here.
Interesting.
Okay, so
Yep.
I do that. Everything is sussed out. We work with budgets. Please don't come and say to me, yes, I want to go to all the castles in Ireland. And I come in with the with the budget. No, it's okay. Don't need it. You come in with a nice price, and they look at you as if,
You're like,
damn, So don't do that. I want to know what money you're not prepared to spend, basically.
Right.
And I
Yeah,
work with
that's
that.
fair.
And we work with the client. We meet individually with them. I Skype, or I have FaceTime, all these sorts of things, because we have clients all over the world.
Sure.
And I deal with everybody individually.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And not everybody can say that.
No.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
awesome.
people call up, they may get Ross, but normally it comes to my phone, so nobody's going to be calling them back except Ross or I.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love Ross.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him I said hello.
I know that. Hi, Ross.
Hey,
Just-
Ross.
I think he's watching, actually.
I hope he is. Hey, Ross. How about some market trends? Do you see some like travel trends that are kind of changing, or you want to go there at
Yeah,
all?
we do a little bit. Everybody thinks, why use a travel agent, consultant, for better words, with the internet?
Right.
Well, I mean, you don't have to believe everything's on the internet, and people will do bookings, and you can. But there's all those little traps. As you know, you can be on a site and you think, oh, this is Royal Caribbean, or it's Carnival, or it's Princess, or it's whatever,
Right.
and it could be a third-party site. And you try and book on that, you lose deposits
Wow.
and everything. So
Wow.
I find even young people now, with word of mouth, are coming for me to deal with them. So they come, Ross and I deal with them rather than the internet. And also, they're not spending any time. We spend the time.
Gotcha.
Their lives are busy as well, so
Right.
we spend the time and do all that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining that. And then I think maybe something that would be kind of interesting, like motivation. So you do what you do because you have a passion. So what truly motivates you?
Life.
Life? You want to take that any further? I know you're always smiling. You're always fun. I've never seen you down. Never.
No. I think later on, like one of my favourite quotes, I forget the lady who did it, but it's like, you wake up, you get up, you dress up, and you get out. Go do something.
I like it.
Go and do something. When
I
it
like
comes to travel, people, I have to tell a quick story. A lady
Please.
says to me, I don't have any money to travel. And she had 3 children on her own. At the time, one was 15, I think one was about 10, one was 8. And I said, but have you been anywhere locally? This lady had never been out in Newport Richie. Never.
Wow.
Anyway, and she just found times tough. So I set about doing something for her down at St. Pete Beach.
Okay.
All right. And I got a really good deal just Friday, Saturday night.
Okay.
And I went round to see her and I said, the only thing is I have one stipulation. You're the only one with a phone and it's only switched on for emergencies.
There you go.
Well, the 15-year-old looked at me and went, hell no. And I talked them into doing it.
Right?
Do you know they have done that for the last 4 years?
Get outta
He's now
here.
like 19 years of age.
That's incredible.
Go to the beach and dig a bucket
Absolutely.
of sand, but
I mean,
do something
yeah,
for goodness sake.
We're in a pretty nice paradise right here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
as I said, we just had a friend. We did that trip and we went to Chattanooga.
Chattanooga, yeah.
I love Tennessee, Georgia. I love the mountains, but Chattanooga they had a wonderful time.
That's fabulous. Yeah, we have to talk a little bit later on that.
Oh,
We just drove through
I
there. We just
know.
came from Gatlinburg.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah, nice, yeah.
What is something that you're really just proud of? What's something that kind of stands out for you,
I'm
Jackie?
proud of my son.
Your son?
Yeah. And I say that because, he went through some very, very tough times. I didn't actually know where he was for about 5 years.
Wow.
Walked the streets and everything else. But he's got his life together. He's a nurse, a charge nurse now at a private mental facility for the criminally insane.
Wow.
So, I've seen him and you go
Right.
through, and we all have tough times.
Yeah,
but when it's your
absolutely.
own and you see him go through this and come out. And I'm proud of the fact that, I'm proud that I'm a US citizen. I love this country. I really and truly do. The opportunities here
Oh, it's-
are marvellous, no
Yes,
matter
ma'am.
what issues you have.
Yes, ma'am.
This country is the best country for opportunities. New Zealand is the nicest country. It's God's country. But for opportunities here, and because of population, you've got so much population,
Right.
there's a lot more you can do. But I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my life, how I've transitioned into who I am today,
Right.
and everything else. And that's a story for another time.
Okay, yeah, we'll save that one. I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay.
How about, is there something maybe that you wish you look back over your years that I wish I would have done that differently? Maybe share some wisdom on that.
Yeah, I think we all have regrets to some extent, but then I firmly believe that you are where you are for a purpose.
Right.
Now, I could say, well, I wish I didn't do that, but I
Right.
wouldn't be here.
Yep, absolutely. Well said.
And I don't know how my life would be. It may be worse, it could be, you don't know,
Right.
but I do believe that you are destined to be where you're supposed to be.
That's great.
And
And if you wake up, get up, dress up, and get out.
that's right. Every
day.
morning.
Every day.
Every morning,
Yeah,
yes, that's
absolutely.
right.
No, that's
And
awesome.
then you get to meet wonderful people outside.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Thank
and
you.
that's what it's about, yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't have never met if we didn't do this thing.
Well,
so
no, you see, if I had my regrets and I wouldn't have met you, I wouldn't be in this country, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Ross was very instrumental in getting me here because I met him in Australia when 9/11 happened.
Wow.
And just heard an American voice.
Wow.
And because then he says he was born in Australia.
Okay.
You know, and we both had similar things happening in our lives. And
Right.
yeah, this is a place I'd always wanted to come.
Gotcha.
And he took me out to the Grand Canyon and I sat there and cried.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, Grand Canyon's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple more minutes. I
Cool.
could sit here and talk to you all day long. You're,
So could I.
you're a delight. What about a risk? You want to talk about maybe a risk that you've taken? You want to share that?
Yeah, business is a risk, I guess. You know, if you go into business, it's a risk that you take. But you've got to go in with the knowledge that you're not going to be successful tomorrow, next week,
Right.
next year. It's a 5-year process to get where you
Sure.
need to be.
Absolutely.
But it's always a risk. You know, you get married, it's a risk. You have children, it's a risk. But gee, you've got to take some risks in this life, you know. I guess one of the biggest risks I took, I went on that damn glass walkway out in the... Yeah.
Oh, you did that?
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Nearly died.
Woo! Woo! I haven't been there since they put that out there.
Oh, geez, yeah. It was funny when we were out there, somebody said, you know, you get a story that it will hold, I think it's 4 747s fully laden and withstand a grade 10 earthquake.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, when that happened, Christchurch in New Zealand had that big one. I just said, well, get ready, there's one on its way over. You know?
That's great. So we talked about a quote. We've got like 30 seconds or so. You want to throw out a goal or maybe your experience on with NPI so far?
For sure, 2 things. Okay, one of the things is our goals. This year especially, where you know we have Roku TV, we have our own program on Roku TV. Go find us at JR World Travel on Roku.
Perfect.
And Fire. And video is important. It is.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. It is absolutely important to do that. 30 seconds, 10, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And we'd like to have consultants now working for us by the end of this year. And in relation to NPI, I mean, there was a couple of people I knew that invited me and I thought, oh, a networking meeting again,
Good.
you know, and all these things. But I do find, honestly...
We're going to have to wrap it. So close it.
It's-
Close it out.
Okay. It's down to earth.
Down to
It's great.
earth.
All right,
You're
down to
awesome.
earth. All right?
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
NPI.
NPI.
With NPI.
NPI, Network Professionals International.
Suncoast NPI. Hi, I'm Ben Kogenauer with Mangrove Realty. I've been in real estate for over 10 years and with my company Mangrove Realty for over 8 years. Joined NPI about 3 years ago and it's been a terrific resource for me to help me grow my business and to grow myself as a business owner.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Dittman with Brightway Insurance, the Dittman Agency, and I do property and casualty insurance. I started with NPI in 1995.
Hello, I'm Paul Friedlander. I am the account executive with Total Title Solutions. I've been involved with NPI now for just a little over a year.
My name is Sarah Shupp, and I am a banker at Synovus in Oldsmar, Florida. I have been a member of NPI for 2 years now, and I am about to start my 3rd year with them.
Hi, I'm Robert Pellini with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I'm a residential realtor and I've been with NPI, Network Professionals International, for 2 years.
Suncoast NPI motivates me every week to grow my business and impact my community. I become better as a business owner every week, every meeting. I learn something new every meeting. I get something out of every meeting.
One of the biggest things that stands out to me is the family aspect of it. I'm not just going to breakfast with people that I don't know. I'm going to breakfast with people that I know, like, and trust. And I know that when I refer one of my customers of influence, that they are going to be in good hands. And it's not going to be a write-off, no call back, no show kind of thing.
Honestly, the relationships are great, but they're second to the results that you get. In fact, just this year alone, I've gone from number 8 in the office to number 1.
NPI is unique in the sense that the first time I walked into the chapter that I belong to, there were about 20 to 25 people in that chapter. Normally a small chapter, but I knew the people in there, I knew the power of the synergy that was in that room, and what that has related to over the last year is related to over $34,000 in thank you for closed business back to me.
Or every week that I meet with the friends and family that I've gotten to know, and we pass referrals. This year alone, I've closed over $40,000 in referrals from my NPI chapter.
Hi, my name is Jon Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI. We're a locally owned, seat-specific, world-class, 28-year young referral networking organization with a community look and feel. As the owner, I'm not so much interested in the membership check. I'm interested in the member. We're here to make money as members, but more importantly, we're here to give back to the community to make it a better place to live, work, and play.
My dad is the owner of Suncoast NPI, and as he always says, when we pull together, we all win!
Here we go. We're back. Again, Jon Marshall, Suncoast NPI ITV. Time flies when you have amazing people on here, and Jackie was a delight. And now I'm mind blown. JJ Stevens is here. Oh my goodness. JJ Stevens with Strategic Insurance Service. I've known this gentleman for quite a few years, and I'm actually stoked. He's actually part of Suncoast NPI, and but this is all about you, Mr. Stevens. So I know you. You know, I know your family. You're an amazing man. You're a man of Christ. Beautiful wife, great family, and a solid businessman. So let's just start out. These people don't know who you are. So let's start with JJ. Who's this guy, JJ Stevens?
So first off, Jon, thank you, and I'll make sure that you get that money in your account.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So a little bit about me. I thought I was going to be a rock star. That didn't work out too well, at least in the genre that I thought it was going to be. Been married 23 years in March. So I got you beat by a couple.
Congratulations.
Amazing wife. Heather, if you're watching, I love you. Mwah. Two absolutely amazing boys, Liam and Quinn, who just, you know, my whole being revolves around just being a better person for them, really.
Yeah,
so.
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm 23. Congratulations. I didn't
Thank
know
you.
were actually
Thank
married
you.
that long.
Yeah. I found a woman that's willing to stay with me and put up with me for 23 years.
You said that, not me. So, hey, how about you know? I know you've been working it. So, how did you get to where you are today?
So if you want to talk about like the original start, that happens to be with my parents. That's another discussion.
I don't think we want to go there. You know, it is Mother's Day weekend.
It is Mother's Day weekend.
You know, so.
Call your mother.
Yes.
Tell her Happy Mother's Day. I started out in an industry, family-owned, locally business. I worked for them for about 18 years, and I really just I wasn't fulfilled. I was making good money, but it wasn't anything that was making a difference. And you know, long story short, I had a health scare that caused me to reevaluate my priorities. I called a friend of mine to get some affairs in order, and just with one simple question is where it all started. I just said, "Tell me about your job." And the first thing that he said was, "It's not a job, it's a mission."
Yeah.
And that just changed my whole outlook on what to do.
Right.
So
I love that.
About 5 years ago, I made the leap, and I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, that's awesome. I made a note on that one. Job equals mission. So
That's right.
That's a good one. I like that. How about some motivation? I have a feeling I'm going to hear a couple nuggets on this one, but what truly motivates you?
You know, we all like to help people. That's our passion, is our servant's heart. You know, we want to make sure that we're doing the best for the clients that are in front of us, whether it's insurance or whether it's running a networking group or whether it's a travel agency. You know, we want to make sure that we're doing the absolute best. The other thing that really motivates me is insurance is just such a fascinating subject for most people. Not really. I love to make people laugh. I love to make them comfortable. You know, we have to have some pretty intense discussions sometimes with our clients. So I like to warm them up to this situation, and you know, just make them laugh, make them, you know, bring that guard down so that they can understand it and appreciate it and not feel like it's such a burden to them to understand.
Gotcha. No, well said. That tees it up. So like, let's just jump into it. You're with Strategic Insurance Services. So let's talk a little bit more about what Strategic Insurance Services. Who are they? Tell me more about the company.
So we've been an agency for about 12 years now.
Okay.
We've been blessed with some of the best people in our industry. I mean, I can honestly tell you that we have the greatest crew, the greatest risk advisors, the greatest client relations, the greatest agency owner that I've ever known. It's all about preparing, protecting, and helping our clients recover from life's unexpected events. That's our motto, that's what we live by, and that's what we do. We've been very fortunate that for the last 3 years, we've been awarded one of the top insurance agencies in the country by our peers. So thank you very much.
That's awesome.
And we want to do it for 4 and 5 and 10
Sure.
and 15 and 20. And if we can figure out a way to go 150, we'll do that too.
That's awesome. So I think you got a differentiator right there. You're winning awards. So what else would you say that differentiates? Because there's a lot of different agencies that are out there.
Absolutely.
So what would you say, if you want to boil down a few different nuggets, what differentiates you and your company within the marketplace here in the Tampa Bay area?
So we really put people over profit. One of the things that we look at when we're doing policy proposals for, say, homeowners is we like to look at something that most agencies don't really take into account, like the age of the home. Right now, a lot of the carriers are doing what they're calling water damage exclusion with limited buyback, and that's a whole lot of insurance jargon for. They're going to tell you that if you have a pipe break in your house and it's $30,000 to fix everything, well, if it's an over 40-year-old home and it's one of these particular carriers, they may only give you $10,000 to fix it.
Interesting.
So we're looking at that, and we're saying, what carriers are going to give you more money for damage like that? So we take that extra step to make sure that we're just not getting you a cheap policy. Anyone can get you a cheap policy. What we're making sure is we get you the right policy at the best possible rate that we can get for you.
Wow, that's awesome. That's scary yet awesome. Just to hear that. So it's I want to be in your hands. So what kind of trends, what kind of market trends do you see in the horizon coming down?
So one of the great market trends that we're seeing is what's called assignment of benefits reform, and I won't go into a whole lot of detail about this, but what this is this is a piece of paper that some contractors that maybe we should say aren't the best representation of the contractors out there.
Okay.
They get a call from a client who says, I want a water leak and I need someone to come out and fix it right away. Well, they walk in, the first thing they do is they hand them this piece of paper and they say, if you sign this, we'll take care of everything.
Right.
Well, what that paper does is it takes all of the rights away from the insured and it gives them to that contractor. And what we see sometimes is we see the contractors will just hold on to that. They won't do any repairs. And then when the insured tries to reach out to the carrier says, we can't do anything, you have a legal contract. So this contractor will then turn around and say, well, if you want to be able to get this back, you got to pay me money. Or what the contractors will do is they'll not only repair what needs to be fixed, but they'll repair everything else around it, get this outrageous bill, and then submit it to the insurance carrier, which is part of the reason why our insurance premiums are so high.
That's crazy.
So after years and years and years of our industry really fighting on behalf of this, really for our clients, it really looks like, I'm keeping my fingers crossed here, folks, it looks like that we're going to get a new bill signed by Governor Santos, and it's going to go through and it's going to reform that so that we'll all be able to see the benefit of that. The clients, the carriers, everyone.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing, and I'm really hopeful that we're going to see that happen.
Yeah, I am now. I am now as well, for sure. That's crazy. So thanks for sharing that. How about something that you're really that sticks out to you, really proud of, most proud of?
Definitely my family. My boys are absolutely the whole reason why integrity and honor and faith really comes into play. I mean, I can tell them all day long what to do, but it's about what I show them. Absolutely. And I'm just really proud that they're two incredibly polite, faith-filled young men that are just on fire for God, on fire to serve people. And they're just a joy to be around. I love it.
Yeah, and I can firsthand. I've met them both more than once. They're awesome. You guys are both doing a great job. So
thank you.
Amen to that. So how about to switch it? What's one thing you wish you would have done differently?
I don't really like to call it a regret, because we're not supposed to have regrets. But the one thing that I wish I would have done is done some military service. I have a lot of respect for the men and women of our armed forces and what they go through, and you know, that just blank check that they write when they decide to sign up. You know, our first responders too. I want to take nothing away from them, but that's that brotherhood that you find there is just phenomenal. So I try and every time I see a veteran, I try and thank them for their service. I don't care if they're young, I don't care if they're old. You know, if you see a vet, thank them for their service, because we are here today enjoying the freedoms because of what they put on the line every single day.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Amen to that. How about some books? I know you like some motivation stuff. What's the best book you've read lately?
So the best book I have read lately is from our good buddy, Bobby Pellini. He actually gave me The Go-Giver, and dude, total game changer.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, if you want to read a book that's going to shift your focus from me to what can I do to serve others, this is going to be the book for you.
Yeah, I'll put 3 exclamation points on the end of that one. So Go-Giver's an amazing book. So yeah, if anybody hasn't read it, go get it. You can even go get it at the library if you need to. How about some role models? How about some role models and mentors you've had through the years?
I've been very blessed. I've got some great mentors in my life. Don Myers, another NPI.
Love that man.
You know, Doug Levi, who is our agency owner, has been just a phenomenal mentor to me.
Cool.
You know, first and foremost, you know, I can't even believe that I forgot this, Jesus Christ. You know, when you read that story and you see how he led with a servant's heart, that's a major motivational factor for me. Guys that I've never even met, Les Brown, the great Jim Rohn.
Yeah.
Those guys are mentors that, you know, unfortunately, Jim Rohn has passed away, and he's enjoying his hard work. But maybe one day I'll get to meet Les and tell him about it.
There you go. Hey, a couple minutes. You want to go in anywhere specific, or how about a risk that you feel like you've taken?
So the biggest risk was really for me, it was jumping careers. I mean, I came from an industry in chemical manufacturing where I would knock on doors and sell people industrial chemicals, to jumping into a field that was completely foreign to me. But I knew it was the right thing because it was about a life mission. It was about helping others and moving them to a better place. You know, Zig Ziglar said, you know, if you want to get everything that you want in life, help others get what they want in life. And I think that's a major factor in why I made the switch, and haven't looked back since, and love every minute of it.
That's awesome, JJ. So we have less than a minute. How about some professional advice that actually has rocked your world?
So first piece of professional advice: if you are a professional, you need a networking group. NPI is the group for you. Build that relationship. As far as when it comes to insurance, again, relationship. Have a relationship with an agent. I'm taking nothing away from these big guys that have call centers, but you can't really build that type of relationship unless you really get a hold of someone here locally that understands what your needs are, understands you as a person, understands your family, and can work on that with you.
That's awesome. Suncoast NPI, JJ Stevens. When we pull together,
everybody wins. Woohoo!
NPI.
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 NPI, Network Professionals International.
Suncoast NPI. Hi, I'm Ben Kogenauer with Mangrove Realty. I've been in real estate for over 10 years and with my company Mangrove Realty for over 8 years. Joined NPI about 3 years ago, and it's been a terrific resource for me to help me grow my business and to grow myself as a business owner.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Dittman with Brightway Insurance, the Dittman Agency, and I do property and casualty insurance. I started with NPI in 1995.
Hello, I'm Paul Friedlander. I am the account executive with Total Title Solutions. I've been involved with NPI now for just a little over a year.
My name is Sarah Shupp, and I am a banker at Synovus in Oldsmar, Florida. I have been a member of NPI for 2 years now, and I am about to start my 3rd year with them.
Hi, I'm Robert Pellini with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I'm a residential realtor, and I've been with NPI, Network Professionals International, for 2 years.
Suncoast NPI motivates me every week to grow my business and impact my community. I become better as a business owner every week, every meeting. I learn something new every meeting. I get something out of every meeting.
One of the biggest things that stands out to me is the family aspect of it. I'm not just going to breakfast with people that I don't know. I'm going to breakfast with people that I know, like, and trust. And I know that when I refer one of my customers of influence, that they are going to be in good hands. And it's not going to be a write-off, no call back, no show kind of thing.
Honestly, the relationships are great, but they're second to the results that you get. In fact, just this year alone, I've gone from number 8 in the office to number 1.
NPI is unique in the sense that the first time I walked into the chapter that I belong to, there were about 20 to 25 people in that chapter. Normally a small chapter, but I knew the people in there. I knew the power of the synergy that was in that room, and what that has related to over the last year is related to over $34,000 in thank you for closed business back to me.
Or every week that I meet with the friends and family that I've gotten to know, and we pass referrals. This year alone, I've closed over $40,000 in referrals from my NPI chapter.
Hi, my name is Jon Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI. We're a locally owned, seat-specific, world-class, 28-year young referral networking organization with a community look and feel. As the owner, I'm not so much interested in the membership check. I'm interested in the member. We're here to make money as members, but more importantly, we're here to give back to the community to make it a better place to live, work, and play.
My dad is the owner of Suncoast NPI, and as he always says, when we pull together, we all win!
Welcome back, everybody. Jon Marshall, Suncoast NPI ITV, and this is like first time ever that we've done this, and I couldn't be more excited. So as I said earlier, the month of May for our organization is How May We Serve You. And so there's a whole host of organizations that we're served, and we have served since I've owned it for the last 5 years. But one of which is sitting right next to me today happens to be the president and CEO of New Life Solutions. So he's coming on as we're serving him tomorrow for a Walk for Life. Actually, one of our chapters is. And so we'll be over at the Countryside Christian Center tomorrow. But this is all about you, Charles, and I'm really delighted to have you on the show today. And it's great to meet you. I know Saul very well, and so a lot of people don't know, like, who's this New Life Solution? What's going on? You know, could be interesting. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, John. It is a privilege, a real privilege to be here today.
Absolutely. I think we have 12 minutes, so that time's going to go fast. So I think we should just jump right into it, if I may. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Let's just go right into New Life Solutions. Tell us, a lot of these people out here probably don't know who they are, which is unfortunate. Yeah. So let's start there.
Sure. New Life Solutions is a life-affirming family of ministries. We've been in the Tampa Bay area, right here in Pinellas and Hillsborough, since 1985. So almost 35 years now. And specifically, our vision is to have a world that is abortion-free, salvation-full, discipled, and healed. And we do that through our ministries, everything from prevention through restoration and everything in between. And what I mean by that is, on the prevention side, we have a ministry, More to Life, where we go into the school systems and talk about things like sexual risk avoidance, alcohol, drugs, social media, bullying, and how to avoid these and how to make healthy choices.
Right.
Inception to date, we've spoken to over 170,000 students in public, Christian, and private schools. Now, our intervention are our 4 pregnancy centers, a Woman's Place medical clinic, fully medical. We have 2 in Hillsborough, in North Tampa by USF, South Tampa off Kennedy, 1 in Tarpon Springs, and 1 in Pinellas Park. And here we offer services at no cost to our clients. Sonograms, pregnancy tests, STI testing, where we really encourage moms and families to choose life for their baby. And last year, nearly 500 babies were saved through our 4 centers. And then we have our restoration. And because you can't talk about the weight of abortion without talking about the forgiveness, restoration, redemption, and wholeness found in Christ. And our abortion grief recovery ministry, Passages of Hope, takes any who have walked through the pain of an abortion and brings them through that healing. In addition to that, we have 2 other ministries. Breath of Life, which is a birth center, if you'd like to have your babies with us, and also Shepherd's Village, which is residential housing for single moms. So it's a fully comprehensive family of ministries under that umbrella of New Life Solutions.
Right. That's That's awesome. More to Life, Jason Dorr. I love Jason Dorr, you know, and
Yes.
Donna, we mentioned Donna Clute. And in Birth of Life, actually, I know the Gilstraps were just there. I mean, I think they have a lifetime pass. Are you guys going back? You guys going to be back there in 9 months, Gilstraps? I don't know. We're not going to go there. But that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that and for sharing the vision. So I know you just didn't walk in here and say, this is what I'm going to do for my life. So how did you, Charles, how did you get to where you are today?
Yeah. You know, John, this is an amazing story, and it's really a story only that the Lord can author. And I was introduced to the pro-life movement in 1996 when I first met my wife.
Wow.
We've been married since 97,
Okay.
so 22 years.
Awesome.
And,
Congrats.
thank you. And so when I met my wife, her parents were very involved with an organization called the Pregnancy Center of Pinellas County. Well, the Pregnancy Center of Pinellas County is now known as New Life Solutions. And so they were on the ground floor, kind of grassroots level of starting this ministry.
Wow.
In fact, as serving as their president and CEO now, working with Saul in that transition, you've known Saul.
Yep.
Prior to Saul, and he's been there the last 20 years,
Right.
there was a gentleman there, Raul Reyes, who served for 12 years. Well, my father-in-law was on the board that helped bring Raul aboard.
Wow.
And so here we are 30 years later, and my in-laws are seeing me having the privilege to serve in a ministry that they helped start. Now, I've come from the corporate world for the last 20 plus years.
Okay.
And we've always supported New Life Solutions, been a part of it, did the Walk for Life, went to the benefit dinners. And now just having the privilege to serve there is just an absolute blessing. The teams that work in all the ministries are so
Right.
passionately called, and such wonderful, godly people, and they're so committed to the cause, and they just do an outstanding job in all of our ministries.
Yeah. Wow. That's a great story. So this isn't going to be so fun, but let's just do this because I think we need to. Some abortion statistics.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that in the United States.
Sure, absolutely. In the United States, and you may have heard some of these statistics before, but since 1973, since the passing of Roe versus Wade,
Yep.
we have about 62 million abortions that have taken place in the United States.
Wow.
That is on average what we are seeing now, about 1 million abortions a year. So that's on average about 1 every 30 seconds. In an hour that we would spend together, on average in the United States, there will be 120 abortions. And you look at the concepts and principles of sanctity of life,
Right.
and we see the compromises that take place from the sanctity of marriage and family. And we're not surprised that we're seeing this data. And you know, two things that are not included in these numbers. One, a couple states don't report.
Right.
New York and California.
Those are pretty big states.
Those are pretty big states. A lot of data that we don't see. And it also does not include the chemical abortions, the RU46 pills and things that,
Sure.
that clients would take at an abortion clinic. And so that number is actually a little higher.
That's just makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for sharing this. And you know, you mentioned earlier, like even like the intervention for medical clinics, and it's free. It's free
Yes.
to the people that come in.
Yes.
But it's not free. So I know you had the benefit dinner. That's one
Yes.
of your fundraisers. But here it's May 10th. So tomorrow's a big day for you guys. So let's talk about specifically. I don't want to steal any of the thunder. I'll just say Walk for Life, and I'll let you take it from there.
Thank you, John. Yeah, our Walk for Life. You know, all of these services that we provide, from More to Life, through all of the services we provide our clients, fully medical, well women care, all those testing, all the sonograms, through our Passages of Hope, all at no cost to the client. But you're right, it is a cost to us.
Sure.
So we have events throughout the year that help generate and fundraising events.
Sure.
We have a benefit dinner in the fall in November,
Right.
and we have our Walk for Life. It's always the Saturday before Mother's Day, which is this coming Saturday, tomorrow. And we are at 4 locations, one in Hillsborough County in South Tampa,
Right.
3 in Pinellas County, so very convenient. And this is the day where those come alongside and support us as pledge-raising walkers can come and walk and celebrate life with us. You know, it takes about $1,500 helps save a baby.
Right.
And we see a lot of groups and individuals make that their goal. And it's a tangible way as they contribute to help save a baby. But tomorrow is a big day for our walk, and it's one of the couple events that we do that really help offset a lot of those internal costs so that we
Sure.
can provide those services at no cost.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And if anybody's out there, actually, our Dunedin chapter is going to be walking out of the Countryside Christian Center. We'll be there. The walk starts at 9 a.m. So feel free to come join us. Let me ask you this: what does society communicate about this issue that we're talking about?
Yes, well, we live in a society today that clearly everything is disposable. There is not a moral right versus wrong. Whatever you feel like you would like to do to make you feel better, and sadly this comes to the sanctity of life.
Right.
And society says, you know what, if you want to do that, you go ahead and do that. And we see in Scripture that we are called to be a voice for the voiceless, a defender for the defenseless, to provide justice for those that cannot provide justice for themselves. We see that in Psalms, in Proverbs. In fact, in Proverbs 31, which sometimes we think about the virtuous woman, and the Proverbs 31 woman, and it's so robust and full of that. But sometimes we forget the first 8 verses of Proverbs 31 shows a mother talking to her son, the king. And the counsel she provides, she says, speak up for those that cannot speak up for themselves. And that's what we're called to do. That's what we're called to do. You know, it's no surprise. I was doing this research, and I was researching the top 10 movies over the last decade.
Okay.
And most of them, and it quite fittingly, as the new Avengers movie is out,
Yes, exactly.
are the superhero movies.
Right.
And I think to myself, I wonder why, and I know a lot of people go to these movies and they're wonderful, but here's what I believe, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. I believe we as a society like to see good winning over evil. I think we like to see someone inserting themselves between us and certain destruction. I think we like to see someone who was once broken made whole.
Right.
And that's exactly what Christ did for us on the cross. He inserted himself between us and certain destruction. He spoke up for us and provided a voice when we had no voice. And that's what at New Life Solutions we are purposing to do, to speak up for those that cannot speak up for themselves.
That's amazing. We could stay here all day, but we're going to run out of time. We got about a minute and a half. Yeah. So I'll let you kind of drive a little bit to make sure you get the final points you want to get out. You want to talk about the movie Unplanned, as we talked about movies?
Sure. The movie Unplanned has been phenomenal. And again, just to see how it's come out, though, it's a very powerful movie. And here's what I've seen. Here's my takeaways from that movie.
Please.
Those that have gone to the movie that would be pro-life, that would affirm what they see, it's challenged them to a call to action, to pray fervently for sure, but to get involved, whether it's with us, other pregnancy centers, to support their lawmakers. And those that have gone in as what they would consider pro-choice, we're seeing minds being changed and speaking up now. And so that's been a blessing.
That's awesome. Less than a minute. Do you want to talk about 5-year vision, or you want to talk about how people can get involved?
Yeah, well, yes, our vision is to grow. We would like to grow. Sometimes I say pregnancy centers are the best kept secret in each community, that there are choices out there. If you find yourself in an unplanned pregnancy, if you have friends that are in unplanned pregnancy, seek help from any pregnancy center. New Life Solutions in the Tampa Bay area, Pinellas and Hillsborough County. Our goal is to grow, to help other pregnancy centers as well with standards and training and teaching, getting boards together, just best practices. That's what we would like to do to continue to grow.
That's great. And we could go on forever, but unfortunately we're going to be out of time today. Charles DiMarco, New Life Solutions, come walk with us tomorrow. Suncoast NPI ITV. Have a great day. See you next week.